If you are struggling with strange, unexplained symptoms and you have breast implants, this video is for you. I ignored the signs for way too long, and once I removed my breast implants, everything changed. Let me share my story. Hi there, my name is Debbie Savage, and thank you for joining me here. I'm so excited for this video. I've thought about this for so long, and it's about time that I share it. I've been a bit nervous, but I just hope that I communicate, everything to help you guys make the best decision. Today is January 29th. Happy Lunar New Year. 3 days ago marks the 1-year anniversary of removing my breast implants, and I am so glad that I did that. Deciding to get breast implants wasn't an easy decision. I really loved my breasts. I developed really early, and being fit and enjoying my 36C cups. I felt it was the perfect size and shape for me, and I loved them. I felt so beautiful and feminine and considered myself really lucky to have boobs. When I became a mother, I knew that I wanted to breastfeed my babies. I have 3 of them and love them so much, and I breastfed my first daughter for a year, and I wish I had gone longer. And my second one, I think I breastfed her for about a year and a half. And then my third one, my little guy, I breastfed him till he was 3. And honestly, I knew he was our last baby and I wanted to go longer, but my husband was like, okay, we're done, and he was turning 3, so it was time to move on. My breasts, when I was done nursing, was completely flat. I mean, pancake flat, and from it being so big, from being engorged from breast milk, and going through various sizes, from breastfeeding the babies to shrinking up the milk supply, and guess going back to a new normal. My breasts were very, very flat. My kids liked my right side more, so this side was more deflated. So yeah, it wasn't a really pretty sight, and what I did to remedy that was buy padded bras. I bought the chicken cutlets that you would put in your sports bras and in your swimsuits, and just, trying to make my breasts look normal, but I was really, really self-conscious. Honestly, a few things kind of perked my mind about considering breast implants. I remember my mom came to visit me from out of state, and she gave me a hug. And she looked at me and then she said, you could really use bigger boobs. And that really hurt my feelings and made me really sad and made me self-conscious about my body, because I, just birthed 3 babies and fed them nourishment through my breasts, and I was happy with my decision, but I felt really self-conscious. And at the same time, my mom was not supportive of me breastfeeding, so because she didn't want me to ruin my body. Another experience that made me think, gee, I should get some breast implants was when we went to the beach as a family, and I'm trying to enhance my upper portion because it's flat as a wall. I decided to put, those chicken cutlets in, and to support, my saggy skin. I was with one of my kids, and we were in the shallow part of the water, and I was bending down to reach for my baby, and your suit kind of comes opened, and there was a young man ahead of me, and he just looked at me strangely, and I wondered why. And I looked down at myself, and I could see that my swimsuit was gaping open with the chicken cutlets, and I don't know, it was embarrassing for him too, and it was incredibly embarrassing for me. I was like, and that my realization to get breast implants was sure becoming stronger. Just sharing all of this is really vulnerable, but it also affected my intimacy with my husband. I I just didn't feel beautiful. I didn't feel sexy, and I wanted to feel confident, and I didn't, because it wasn't cute. It wasn't feminine. I felt like I looked like a grandma on top. Deciding to get breast implants is a completely personal decision. Mine was combined with a lack of self-confidence, pressure from family or suggestion from family, getting frustrated with solutions to enhance my breasts just weren't working. And those were the reasons why I decided to get breast implants. When I met with my plastic surgeon and I did interview and screen many, I told him that I didn't want anything crazy. I wanted, a breast size that would complement my body very well and just look natural. So I said, just take me back to when I had 36C breasts. So he was really surprised. I live in Orange County, and he said a lot of the women want bigger breast implants, that bigger was better, and I was one of the few that wanted a smaller implant. But I told him, this is what I'm comfortable with. My husband was even like, hey, you can go bigger too, but I was really adamant about just having a breast size that was natural to me, because I just wanted to restore what was lost. My breasts looked beautiful. I just couldn't believe how good they turned out. They felt really natural. I got silicone breast implants and I was really happy. The recovery was very, very difficult. I wasn't expecting the magnitude of pain. And by week 2, I was feeling so much better. So much better. In fact, I decided to do laundry way too soon. At the time, I had a top-loading washer. And I remember extending my arm into the drum to reach something, and I heard a pop and I felt a pop. And you guys, why did I do that? I did way too much, way too soon, and did a movement that I shouldn't have done at all. And it was the most scary thought. And that was my first hiccup. I called my doctor, and I knew he was going to be in Palm Springs with his wife that weekend. I felt so horrible, you guys. And he left his vacation early, met me in the emergency room, and I had to have emergency surgery to rule out any problems, a hematoma, if blood was pooling. It was just the scariest thing, and I was like, why am I starting my breast implant journey this way? And luckily everything was fine. Wasn't expecting to have another surgery within like a week and a half, 2 weeks of my first implantation. But that first hiccup was the sign of many more. So moving forward now to my second hiccup, I experienced my first breast contracture. Now interestingly, I thought that it would be in my left side because that's where I overstretched my arm, felt the pop, saw the swelling, and that's where they went in to clean up my breast to inspect it. And I just felt like I was babying this side. But the interesting thing is my breast contracture was in my right side. And so basically the scar tissue around your breast implant starts scarring up even more and encapsulating the breast implant so much that it's hard and painful. And my breast implant kept rising up my chest. You can see it and you can like feel it. And eventually it reached a point where it was below my collarbone. And this is just such a bummer because, you have that surgery and it's painful. I don't know if I mentioned that I also had a breast lift because I had the excess skin, and I decided to go under the muscle. So there's just so much trauma. That first hiccup of ruling out the hematoma, and then now, dealing with a right breast contracture. Went in for the surgery. The doctor decided to, cut the the contracture, the scar tissue around the breast, to release the implant and hope that that solves the problem. Guys, I wish that it did. Unfortunately, after my first breast contracture, I developed a second one. So 4 years later, same thing happening. You kind of just feel this tightness, right? And then I was just very hypersensitive about the feeling, and I could feel it getting tighter over time, and again moving up towards my collarbone. No. So the doctor's monitoring me, and he prescribes me Singular, which apparently could help relax your chest and drop the breast implants. And I just prayed. I prayed that that would work because I didn't want another surgery. But unfortunately, I had to have another surgery because it was climbing up my chest. And guys, my body was rejecting my breast implant. And I don't know, at the time, I didn't put that together. I just thought that I was just that statistic, that would have the breast contracture, because once you have one, you're more likely to get it again. And it's so frustrating that I was a part of that group, but I was, and my body was telling me something is off. So yeah, I had another surgery again to go in and fix that breast contracture on the right side, the same side. And doctor went in, cleaned up the space, and cut away the scar tissue, and that was it. And just crossed my fingers and toes that it just wouldn't happen again, because I was hoping to just enjoy the look of my breasts for as long as I can before I needed to decide if I wanted to have a second set of breast implants.
I want slow love, uncomplicated touch, stable as we go, consistent as we grow. I